Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with how to make pie dough. That's right, finally, how to make it from scratch. You've seen me use the pre-made before, and it's okay. But here's how you make a homemade butter pie dough. Okay, so we're going to chop up 2 sticks of butter, unsalted, good quality butter, throw it in the freezer. That's right, cut it in small pieces, throw it in the freezer. Weigh out your flour. It has to be exact. I have 12 ounces of flour. If you don't have a scale, that's about 2.5 cups. And also we're going to toss in half a teaspoon of salt. I also have some ice water and some apple cider vinegar. The amounts are critical. Get them on the site if you're not already there. All right, throw your flour into the bowl of a food processor along with your frozen butter slices. Pulse on and off just a couple seconds at a time until you have what resembles coarse crumbs. All right, so let me show you. It's going to look something like that. You're going to be able to see all those little pieces of butter. So you don't want it too fine, but you don't want any big chunks of butter. All right, then we're going to add half the ice water vinegar mixture. Pulse on and off a few times. Add the other half. And then you're going to pulse on and off until it just comes together. It's going to look crumbly, and it's just going to start to barely clump. So just about right there. You don't want a solid dough ball. That'll be overmixed. You just want to be able to press it and have it form a dough. All right, so pour that crumbly mixture out on your cutting board. I'm using a silicone baking mat here just for easy cleanup. Pat it into a round shape, something that you could divide in half easily. And by the way, if you got your scale out, you could do it like the pros do and weigh each half to get them exact. I'm not big on that. Form each half into a disc about 4 or 5 inches wide. Refrigerate at least a half hour. Longer is even better, but at least a half hour. And then you're ready to make pie. At this point, you're going to roll out the bottom half of your pie crust. And this dough, if you make it exactly according to the direction, is very soft and supple. Yet when it bakes up, it still has a very nice flakiness to it. Apparently the vinegar, the small amount of vinegar, helps keep the gluten from developing so you don't get a tough crust. So this is nice and flaky and tender, and I really like it. Okay, so once the dough is rolled out a few inches larger around than your pie pan, I like to roll it up on the rolling pin. Easy way to move it around. I'm sure you've seen that trick before on TV from those, uppity pastry chefs. I like to have a lot of overlap. I'm a big crust guy. You're going to throw in your filling, in my case, the classic apple pie. All right, I'm going to brush the edge with an egg wash. That's just a beaten egg. I like to roll my top crust so I have at least an inch or two overlapping. As you see there, I actually have more. But I like a really thick outer ring of crust. To me, that's the best part of the pie. So I don't mind it a little thinner on top and then have a lot extra that you'll see I'm just going to go around and roll up. I also like to crimp the sides. Some people like to use a fork. I just like to pinch every inch or so to give it that crinkled look. By the way, I'm going to link my mom's key lime pie video under this because she does a close-up of how to crimp that. Really easy trick if you can see it. All right, brush the entire surface with your egg wash. Anytime you make pie, you got to cut some vents in the top. That's also how you can test with a paring knife later to see if your apples are tender. And then not shown here, I like to give a little sprinkling of white sugar, just a little bit. And that's it. Bake according to directions. Beautiful butter pie dough, pie crust. Could not be easier. If you have a food processor, that is incredibly simple to make. Follow this recipe exactly, and you will have pie dough, not pie dough. Sorry, you knew it was coming. So give that a try. All the ingredients are on the site. The measurements are critical, so go check it out. And as always, enjoy.